Hi, what's going on? This is CASPA, and you're listening to The Bass Island.
Hey Caspar, welcome on Bass Island.
Hiya.
So, what are you up to at the moment? Studio time or getting ready for your massive tour in the States?
To be honest, I'm literally walking around in my boxer shorts. I just cooked myself an egg and bacon sandwich. I only got up about half an hour ago, so I'm lazy today.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nothing too exciting. But yeah, I'm heading to the studio later just to sort out some stuff because I'm heading off next week, so I've got a lot to do.
Yeah. And you've played in Italy quite a few times. Has the audience always welcomed you like you should welcome a forefather of dubstep? Haha.
Yeah, it's just always very welcoming. Like, you know, like, and it's great place to play. Like, you know, it's got some big reggae roots and vibes there. So it's not too far away from what dubstep was about when it started. So it's always been a great place to play.
Very good, very good. And I know your next single is ready with some very hot remixes too, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
When's that coming out?
I haven't got a set date for it yet, but roughly speaking, it's going to be out sort of mid-November. So I'm actually mastering it today at 5:00. So the video's already been shot. I shot it when I was in Atlanta, in America last year.
Wow.
So it's all been sort of put together and ready and lined up. So yeah, I should say mid-November to be like a rough date.
Great, very good. And how about the album? Almost finished?
I was meant to put an album out this year, which I didn't actually get time to do that because I was DJing so much and trying to finish tracks off. So it looks like I'm going to put the album out probably January or February next year. And if it doesn't come out, then I'm just going to give it away for free because I need to get some music out. But yeah, no, it's planned to come out next year. Definitely,
Right.
100%.
I see. I know you're really picking what you do and who you work with, aren't you?
Yeah, always.
So, like, what criteria do you use?
Just have to be into, you know, I never want to make music with people that I'm not into what they do. And I never make choices because it's going to make me money or because it's going to make me look great and they're famous. You know what I mean? I just want to make music and collab and work with people that I get along with, like, musically, and I can understand where they're going and what they're doing, and it excites me. If it doesn't excite me, there's no point in me doing it, because that's why I do music. I love it and it excites me. So that's just my theory on everything moving forward.
Yeah, exactly. And let's talk about your last single, War, with Kids Fling. How did that collab come about? I know you were looking for something diverse and out there. So, well, I think you got it there.
Yeah, geez, that Prodigy, my manager, Nick Hawk, originally, like, back in the day, signed the Prodigy to XL Recordings because he used to work at XL Recordings. And he's always had a very good link. And he A&R's their album and the last album he done. And at the moment, I think he's managing Liam Howlett from Prodigy as well at the moment. So I kind of just was with them on tour, and they've been really into the dubstep thing for a good 3-4 years. Nick was just playing keys from tunes. He was like, yeah, love it, what's this tune? And one of the tunes was my tunes. So he just said, let's get something down on it, let's get a rough idea down. So he sort of put a rough idea down, then sent over the a cappella to me, and then I just kind of built a tune around the a cappella.
Oh, I see.
So yeah, it was an honour to work with someone who I grew up listening to. So that was great. For me, that was very exciting. So that's why I just wanted to do it and do something really different with it. It's not a particularly basic dubstep song. It kind of sounds more like rock and roll.
Yeah,
you know, it's very heavy and like punky, and yeah, just wanted to do something a bit different. So that worked out well.
And it's been released on Virgin EMI. So how is working with majors?
A nightmare, like always. Well, I mean, it's half coming out on Dubstep, my own label, so it's on their label, so which makes it a lot easier. I mean, to be honest, the whole war situation went very very smoothly, and it worked out really, really well. And they put some good money behind the video, which looks really good. But majors in a whole, to be honest, they're always difficult to work with because they've got so much on. And so much happening, and not all the time do they get underground music. You know, they're always looking for sort of big money earners and what can hit the chart. So Virgin, took a risk with doing something like this because it's very off the cuff and it's not your typical sort of song that your mum would go and listen to or your nan would download and buy, you know?
Yeah.
It's quite hard and on the ground. So it's been pretty cool working with Virgin. They've been understanding and they sort of know where I want to go and what I want to do. So that's been pretty cool.
And tell us something about your labels, Dub Police. I know you celebrated Dub Police's 4th birthday at Fabric. How was it?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was sold out. We sold out, and it was great. It's been so weird that it's been 4 years there. We started in room 3 4 years ago, and then we moved to room 2, and then we moved to room 1, and we've been in room 1 for three and a half years in room 1. So yeah, it's been amazing. The night's been going really well, and Dub Police, the label, it's just doing really well. It's got a lot of good artists on the roster at the moment, like the others. They're putting their album out in November. Trolley Snatcher's working on a big project, and Subscape's got his Elements EP, which is coming out, and he's got a mix CD, which is coming out. And I've found a bunch of new artists as well to the label, like three new artists. So yeah, it's going really well. I love it. That's my baby. It's my baby, so I always look after it.
Yeah, definitely. When you sign new names, what do you look for in an artist? Like, what surprises you?
Always looking for something different. I never sign people because they're copying what's going on. I always try and listen to their ideas. You know, initially a lot of artists don't have the best sort of structures and mix downs on their tunes, but if they've got the good ideas, you can normally hear that, and it really stands out and it catches my ear. And I just thought I've always just signed music that I'm really into, and people that are doing stuff different. And it was the same when I first started out, and Rusko sent me a demo. For me, it sounded different to what anyone else was doing, so I signed Rusko. So I just continue to do that. As long as people are making good music and doing stuff that's different and standing out, I'm going to continue to sort of look at that and see if I can fit it on the label.
Absolutely. You've just done a remix for the upcoming Halo video game Series 4 soundtrack, and now I know you're also judging the competition, right? Tell us, what is it?
Yes, that's it, yeah. So it's a remix. I've done the remix for the computer game, and the package is coming out in... I think it's coming out in December the 1st or November the 20th, something like that, around that time anyway. But yeah, so I've done that for them, which has gone really well. And they just asked me if I wanted to be on the panel to judge remixes that come in of the tracks. And I was like, well, yeah, it sounds great. So yeah, basically it's just a competition. You can go on to the Halo website, download the parts of the tunes, and then basically you have a set date to send in the demo, and then myself and Neil and a couple other guys listen to it, and we just pick the winner.
Oh, that's
I think
fun.
It gets released on the Halo soundtrack too.
That's very nice. And do you still play with video games?
No, I don't. They asked me that when I was doing the track, but I don't. I've got an Xbox and I've got Nintendos and I've got all kinds of other consoles, but I just don't have the time. Any time that I do have, it's in the studio on my computer. So I think the last computer game I played was Mario. That was a while ago.
I see. Well, the dubstep scene has changed a lot since you started producing in 2004. What would you say has gone missing and what has been added instead?
I'd say what's missing from the dubstep scene is people just forgetting to release just good music and stop overthinking stuff. I think a lot of producers are kind of thinking about, I want to make a tune and I want everyone on radio to play it, and I want it to go in the charts, and I want it to sell, and and I want it to be like in the top 10, and and a lot of producers are not music like they used to. People would put like 2 or 3 or 4 EPs out a year of just really good music, or 4 singles a year. But now it's kind of like everyone's sort of holding on and waiting to write, which I don't think is the right thing to do. I think for me it's all about putting out underground music, and it's putting out music that people know you for. And I think people are kind of scared, producers are kind of scared because they might think, whatever I put out is not going to be good, not going to be as good as the last thing, or it's not going to make it into the top 20 in iTunes or whatever, or top 20 in Beatport. So for to make music, I think it's all about putting underground music out. So for me, what's missing in the scene is just people releasing just good, consistent music. On the positive thing, I suppose what's been added to the scene is definitely diversity now, because it's where it's opened up to so many genres. So you've got a lot of people, taking influences. I mean, we've always done it in the scene, but more so than ever, taking a lot of influences from sort of like house or Dutch house and electro, right through to like, you know, drum and bass. You know, the whole half-time drum and bass thing is called Dubstep.
Yeah.
It's pretty much just half-time drum and bass. It's no different. It's just one snare instead of two. But, you know, people just trying new things. And, it's, you know, I think, you know, where the scene's been around for a while now, people just kind of keep fresh and just try new stuff. So the positive thing is it's opened up and it's sort of connected to all the other sort of electric music sort of scenes, which is great. It's it fresh. What
about the shows? How have they changed?
Similar, you know, there's a lot of big shows and there's a lot of real underground shows. I think at the moment there's a big gap in the whole flip scene where, again, people are not playing. You know, it's really hard. There's a lot of like, sort of really underground full parties, like, you know, 200 people, 300 people. There's a lot of parties that are like 5,000, 6,000. There's not a lot of nights at the moment. I can only speak for the UK. There's not a lot of nights at the moment that, you know, have like a 400 or 500 capacity. And, you know, the midweek shows are not really happening. It's normally just weekends now and everyone's going for the big Friday and Saturday sell-out show. So I think it's lacking a sort of in-between at the moment, which is I'm trying to pull back and, you know, do that with Dub Police. I'm just trying to release good music and I would like to start another night, to be honest, outside of Fabric, so we can do something a bit smaller and just more cosy.
Right. And, well, originally born in the UK, now we find dubstep producers rising from literally every country. Do you notice any particular trends that each country generates, or am I just talking crap?
I've definitely noticed a trend in America. You know, America is like, you know, it's blown up really big in the States, but on the downside of America, which is it's never really had, obviously apart from the big name like Skrillex or someone like that who completely blown up and taken it to the next level. They don't have a lot of producers. There's not a lot of producers you can name in the dubstep scene particularly. You can say this guy has made a massive change in the scene. Yeah. You know, you can name loads from UK and loads from Europe. Yeah. Not necessarily name many from America. The only people I can think of is Matty G, who's from San Francisco, and another guy is obviously Skrillex, who, you know, he's the biggest thing in the world at the moment. But there's not many other names, and I think the reason that is because the trend is that everyone just copying each other. You know, someone does something and everyone wants to make a tune like that, and then you get like a million Skrillexes, and everyone's trying to copy Skrillex and do the same sort of thing, and it's never going to go anywhere. It's just going to go round in circles. Yeah. And I think the difference with the UK is you've got a lot of producers, and in Europe, people that are just trying new things and taking risks, and the people that take risks are the people that tend to sort of do really well and suddenly blow through. You know, so I kind of, in America, it's definitely a trend of people just copying each other too much and not enough of sort of originality. But in Europe and UK, I still find it very fresh and there's a lot going on.
Yeah, definitely. What softwares did you use in the early days to produce, and what do you use now?
I used to use, when I first started out, Fruity Loops, which I got, my friend gave that to me on a CD, that was free. It's a free version. And then I moved to Reason, and then I switched over. I started using Reason and Logic, and now I just use Logic by itself.
And I read you stated in an interview that it's not about what you've done, it's about what you're doing. So how do you see CASPA in, say, 5 years' time?
Man, yeah, I think that statement's definitely true. You can do some great stuff and do some scene-defining things, but it's definitely what about you're doing right now and what impact you're making. So 5 years' time, I'd love to still be just DJing and just enjoying it. I mean, I love it. I love what I do. So I just love to be just DJing, playing shows, putting out great music. And to be honest, just want to be, you know, the forefront of the scene still, just making changes and doing new things. It's so important for me just to keep things fresh and be the person that takes risks, because that's what I'm all about, taking risks and just keep trying to sort of do stuff that makes people think and go, wow, what's that? That's mad. Never heard that before. So as long as I can do that, 5 years' time, I should still be where I am, right at the front.
Perfect. We really want you there.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I really hope to see you soon here in Italy again.
Yes, most definitely.
Thank you so much.
No problem.